Hi, I'm Jim Davidson. My passion is climbing and then sharing the adventures and lessons.
Now, I don't know if you've tried to get on a plane carrying one of these, but you ought to try getting on carrying two of these. And so now that front climber can start forging away up the mountain. And that's the big thing, is we have to establish that trust, that communication, and that commitment before that lead climber can go first and start taking risk. A solid partner will put their whole being into getting down safely. Or if we get involved in a rescue, they'll put their whole effort into helping with the rescue. And that's what a solid partner is. They give it their best effort always. Once the team starts to move in a direction, it's like everybody understands and they start joining in and more energy gets added. So once I got to that overhang, what really happened was I had to figure out a different way to do it. I had to bounce back. I had to be innovative. I had to think of something new. And that's resilience, that ability to take a new path. Maybe the economy's changed. Maybe your agency has changed. That probably means you have to change. We have to respond. We have to be flexible. We have to be resilient.
Jim Davidson is a high-altitude climber, an engaging keynote speaker, and an expert in resilience. From his 31 years of climbing adventures, Jim shares exhilarating stories and compelling lessons that motivate audiences to overcome big challenges through teamwork and resilience.
Gotcha. Sometimes life throws one challenge at you, and then another. You start asking yourself how much that can take. Maybe the economy goes south, and your business gets worse, and the kids get sick. But I'm here to tell you, people are much more resilient than we think. And when you get pushed to those extremes, you will find out how strong and resilient you can be.
Jim's survival story is so amazing that it was made into an episode of the international hit TV show, I Shouldn't Be Alive.
One climber must conquer his fear and a sheer wall of ice.
You can't climb this. Nobody on the planet can climb this.
In an epic struggle,
it was just absolute sheer terror.
He must escape before the sun sets, or he'll freeze to death.
I was going to climb until I got out, or until I was dead. I started gathering the gear a little bit, thinking about what I was going to do, and it's 80 feet to the top. Let's say I can reach about 4 feet, 80 divided by 4. If I had 20 ice screws, I knew how to get out of this. Let me show you what 20 ice screws and the 40 carabiners needed for them looks like. This is 20 ice screws and 40 carabiners. If I had this gear, I knew how to climb out. But remember I said we traveled light? This is what I needed to do the job, and this is what I had. I needed 20 ice screws, and I had 6. I'm short on resources. With my partner gone, there's no one to even hold my rope. So I'm not sure how I'm going to secure myself or belay myself. So I'm short on people. With that meltwater dripping in, I know I have to get out of here today before the sun goes down. So I'm short on time. Short on resources, people, time. I've got a big, big challenge. Sound like your job some days? It's not always fun to tackle big problems with insufficient resources. It's easy to focus on, well, if I only had more, or if we had a little more time, but sometimes you don't get that opportunity. You have to tackle the problem you've got with the resources you've got.
Jim is the co-author of a national best-selling memoir called The Ledge, an inspirational story of friendship and survival. The Ledge was chosen one of the best books of the year by Amazon, and it won the National Outdoor Book Award.
So I pushed my arm back and forth a little bit, and I realized there was about a foot of snow over my face. So I started pushing at it, and I was able to push the snow off, and as I dug closer to my face, I could hear the sound getting louder. My hand grinding against the ice crystals. And finally, my hand went across and swept the ice off my eye. I looked up, and I saw my hand. Now, this whole time, I'd been having panicky thoughts in my head and trying to stay calm. And the logical side was kind of battling for control. And I'm hearing these voices talking back and forth. And when I finally saw the hand, I was so scared and so disassociated from what was going on, I wasn't even sure it was my hand, you know? But I'm an old scientist, and so you try and do one thing at a time and see what happens. So I thought, well, wave my hand and see what happens. So I waved my hand, and the hand at the end of the tunnel waved back. You know, and the emotional side of me is so excited, they're like, look, someone's coming to take us out. And the logical side goes, hey, he's got the same gloves we have. You know, I'm kind of in the middle, and I'm listening to these voices in my head. And I'm a little worried because I've only been buried a few minutes, and I'm hearing voices, and now these idiots are arguing with each other, you know? I put on the headlamp, and I walked to the edge, and I looked down. And down below us, I could see one ice axe, not clipped in anything, just resting on its head upside down, sitting on a small whisper of a snow bridge down there. And I realized if I wanted to have any chance of climbing up, I was going to have to go down there and get that ice axe. I thought, no. Too scary, too dangerous. I'm already at my maximum capacity. I can't go down and get that. But I realized that was the only way. Sometimes life requires you to wade deeper into the darkness, deeper into the fears, to take more risk, more work, to get a chance to turn it around. Maybe you have to contract your business. Maybe your life partner has to go through chemo and you've got to take on that risk and enter that fear. Sometimes we have to do those things to try and find a way to get back up to the light and back to our life. And that process of slowly grinding away up the wall, that was perseverance. Tough every day to get up and go to the work again and take care of the kids. Tough to do another move of aid just to gain another 3 lousy feet. But that process of grinding away, making progress, even though it's slow, even though it's small, that perseverance can take you very far in solving difficult problems. When I was too scared, too tired, wasn't even sure I even cared enough about me anymore to get out, I thought about what I owed to other people. And that's maybe true for you. You're too tired to go to work again, but the kids are counting on you. And you've got to go over and take care of that elderly person in your family. Well, they're counting on you. That's what can give you strength and resilience when you're worn out. But I realized something. We're not trying to climb this mountain in one push. What we're trying to do is get ourselves acclimatized to the mountain. Climb up high, grow some red blood cells, learn the route, get a little stronger, and go back down and rest. And then try again. So that's what we did. We went up to Camp 1 and then back down to base camp. A couple days later, we're a little stronger, a little smarter, a little more experienced. You carry all that experience from the good things and bad things with you on to the next challenge, to the next opportunity. That ability to get past that overhang, as I look back, I think that was resilience. If you take a rubber band and you stretch it, it goes out and it goes back to its original shape. That's the definition of resilience with materials. People are different, though. If we get stretched out, when we come back not just to the same position, but a little bit stronger, a little bit more experienced, a little bit wiser. And so by going through that and being willing to try several things to get past the overhang, that resilience is what got me past a problem that I didn't even have a solution for. Take a minute and ask yourself, where does my resilience come from? Who gives me strength? And maybe ask yourself, who is it I should be giving strength to for those difficult moments? You see, you may not be a climber, but as you go forward in life, you're going to find out there are some crevasses out there in life that you're going to have to climb out of. And there'll be some big opportunities too. And by keeping track of your strength and knowing why you're going to try and push as hard as you can, and who's going to give you the strength to get home, that's what will give you the strength and the courage to try. So I want you to remember those moments. Hold on to your sources of resilience. And I wish you well on your quest for adventure. Thank you very much.
To have Jim inspire your audience, please contact the person that provided you this video.